Hello everybody, this is Llodg, and today I am talking about the new Prince of Persia demo with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And before I get started, if you want to play this demo for yourself, it's available on the Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation stores. I'm playing this on the PlayStation 5, but I'm pretty sure the experience is roughly the same. I guess the only difference is that some of the sound effects play through the controller like we're still on the Wii. But this game was developed by Ubisoft, which is kind of ironic because almost 2 decades ago, Ubisoft was going to develop a Prince of Persia: Sands of Time sequel, and it turned into Assassin's Creed. We could have got a billion Prince of Persia games, but instead we got a ton of Assassin's Creed games. Maybe in another timeline. Well, now we finally got another Prince of Persia game from Ubisoft, and it's actually a Metroidvania, so with that, let's get into the demo. So the demo actually starts out with you being able to choose different difficulties, which I thought was interesting, and maybe it's because the only games similar to this I have played are the Metroid games, Symphony of the Night, and a bit of Hollow Knight, but I feel like we don't get to choose the difficulty straight off the bat like this. I decided to go with the Warrior difficulty since it was the standard difficulty, and I know some of these Metroidvania games can be very difficult. In this demo version, they put together a custom set of areas so you could experience the game but stay spoiler free, so I'm not sure how much different the areas will be to the full game, but yeah. Since they are trying to make this demo as spoiler free as possible, there isn't a whole lot of story stuff in the demo, just a bit of cutscenes with a lot of characters talking about stuff, and some woman named Anahita kidnapped Prince Ghassan, and yeah, we don't really see these characters too much once you actually start playing the demo, but I wanted to take a moment to appreciate the art that comes up when specific characters are talking. I think the artwork just looks really nice. Also, he plays this character here, Sargon. Now we actually get to play the game and learn the controls. You got the basic move and jump that you'd expect, you also have a slide that can turn into a run. Metroid Dread had a slide. As we are running into the temple, we see some weird things going on, like all these rocks just being able to float in midair, and eventually we make it to an open area where we see a lot of people we apparently know who were defeated and turned into these zombie things. Also, we have a different type of cutscene that actually lets us see the characters talking, which is nice. But yeah, since this is a demo that just drops you in, I don't really care too much for the story here. But now we finally get to try the combat, and it's pretty fun. You have 2 swords that you can attack enemies as your main attack. You also have a bow and arrow, which makes for a nice range option. And as you attack, you land hits that has this meter build up, and once it fills up at least once or twice, you're able to pull off that specific move. I think you'll be able to potentially switch out these moves for other ones in the full game, which could be interesting if you want to switch it up. Oh, and you can also dodge and wait, they have the same counter mechanic that's in Samus Returns and Metroid Dread. It even has the same light that comes up. I'm onto Ubisoft devs, taking mechanics from one of the best games that's come out in the past few years. But in all seriousness, countering is pretty cool, and it looks like most, if not all, enemy has an attack that can be countered. I'm a little worried it might fall into the Samus Returns trap, where I was just waiting for every enemy to attack me so I can just counter them. But in this game, I had no real issue just attacking most enemies. Though there are some enemies that you will need to wait for them to be countered, but they are pretty few and far between. And now this is where the demo actually opens up. Well, as open as a short demo can be. There are a couple of mechanics that are introduced throughout the demo, like equipping different amulets for different effects, and even being able to take a screenshot of a specific area of a map so you can later return to it when you have the ability to actually progress through it. And I really liked this mechanic. As for a lot of Metroidvanias, I try to remember which room has some ability I can now use to progress in that room, but I just end up forgetting and running to a bunch of rooms where I can't do anything in them yet. And this mechanic just makes it a whole lot easier to remember what rooms to actually return to make significant progress. Also, I can't believe I didn't mention it until now, but the platforming in this game is just so good. While jumping and maneuvering around obstacles was so fun. You also have an air dash that gives you some nice lateral movement, which just makes it even better. You can also find some other characters throughout your journey. A lot of them I'm sure you'll see over and over again in the main game. Like this blacksmith named Kaheva, who has a really cool design by the way, maybe my favorite design in this demo. But she'll upgrade your weapons and stuff, which is really cool. There also seem to be some challenges for crystals and stuff, which is cool, and you can also even find a costume, which is really cool. More games should just let you find costumes, especially Metroidvanias. I guess Metroid technically has different costumes, but I'm not counting the different suits. But yeah, overall the game is just so fun and satisfying to play. Like doing the puzzles and platforming challenges is so fun to do. The game just feels so nice to control, which I feel is a very good thing, especially for this type of game, while jumping in general is one of my favorite things in this game. They got it down perfectly in my opinion. Like this puzzle in particular, having to shoot your bow for platforms to appear is so nice and such a cool and actually somewhat challenging puzzle for you to do. The demo has you end up in a coliseum and it seems like it's setting up for a boss battle, but then it goes into one of these montage things that demos usually like to do. and show you some of the cool stuff you'll see in the full game, and then it spits you out to try and get you to buy the full game. It would have been cool to fight at least one boss, but I understand why they don't let you, but it just seems like a big tease. My only other issue with this demo was that I felt really powerful, and in most of my favorite Metroidvanias, I really like feeling weaker at the start of the game, and slowly but surely getting more items and abilities to be stronger. Now this is just a demo where they wanted to show you a taste of what the game is like, but I wish we got more of a sense of that if there would be a power creep or not, since it just is one of my favorite mechanics in these types of games. But overall, I thought this was a very fun demo, and definitely something you should try out. I mean, it's free, and you can tell essentially right away if this game's for you or not. If you enjoy Metroidvanias, especially Metroid Dread, I think you'll really enjoy this game, and hopefully the full game is just like this demo. Let me know what your thoughts on the demo are, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day, and goodbye!